morning, America! Let's get dancing this morning. Let's get dancing. It's the DJ. Once again, it is, what day is today? Today is a Friday, May 17th. We're headed to the weekend. To the weekend we are headed. Welcome to the weekend. Got the Hooters mug out. We're ready for the weekend. There you go. There you go. Got our buddy Chris Farley with us here today. And we're dancing it up. Dancing it up. Some nice soothing music for you leading into the weekend. Yeah, let's bring that down. Let's bring that down. And what else do I got here for you? I don't know if you saw my short and video yesterday about Knocky Knocky. Let's see if this... There you go. I hope you can hear that. Knock, knock. Yeah, so yesterday we had some knocky knocky at our front door, and we're going to talk about how not everyone who knocks at your door is your friend. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's, someone's knocking at the door. Damn it. Knock off. Knock it off. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this is a time of year. Let me give you a little background on my video and why I don't like people knocking at my door, especially if I don't know who they are. Remember back in the 80s and the 90s, people will come to your door. They sell you magazine subscriptions for some non-profit where you can pay for 10 weeks and it'd go to the non-profit and stuff like that. We used to get people at our door all the time selling all sorts of stuff, magazines and vacuum cleaners and cleaning solutions, all that good stuff. But those days are gone. Those days are gone. And for good reason. This is the time of year. I don't know if you ever heard of the Travelers. Have you guys heard of the Travelers? It's a group, enterprising group from North Georgia that likes to travel our country and run scams. Okay, the Travelers are well-known scam artists, and a couple years ago we actually had some in our neighborhood. What they were doing is they were preying on elderly homes and people that were elderly, and what they would do is they would knock on the door, get your attention, try to get you outside of your house, telling you they wanted to, you had a problem with this or that, and once they got you out of the house, someone would go into your house through the back door and start rifling through your jewelry box, right? A lot of elderly people have jewelry boxes, and where do you think they put all their diamonds and gold and all that good stuff? But in the jewelry box, right? So there's one reason I don't like people knocking at my door, especially if I don't know who you are. When I was younger, when I lived in a farming community when I was younger, and this shows you how ingenious these travelers are. They used to come up in the spring and they would go from farm to farm asking farmers if they had any work that they needed to be done. And one of the things that they would always suggest was painting of barns and sheds and Also, homes or mostly barns and sheds, corn cribs. And what they would do is because they didn't know how much paint they would need, they would agree with the farmer that they would charge him based on the number of buckets at the end of the job. So they would agree and shake and oh, you'll pay $100 per bucket of paint that we use and everyone will be happy. So the travelers would go ahead and they start their painting process, and they'd be there for a day or two, and they would actually use 5 gallons of paint. But lo and behold, when it was time to bill the farmer for the work that they had done, they would have 15 buckets of empty paint. So instead of what they really used was 5 buckets. Going. All right, we're reconnected. There you go. There you go. So they would, that's how they would get more money. More money means better money, right? So that's how the travelers worked. So, and let's put it this way. If someone who's going to knock on your door, let's get that going again here. Yeah, if there's someone knocking on your door and you don't know them, chances are they want something from you, right? That's the other reason I don't like people knocking on my door. Because they usually want to sell me something, whether it be a vacuum cleaner, some cleaning solution, some magazines, you name it. There's so many door-to-door salesmen, maybe not as many as there used to be, but if there's somebody at your door and you don't know who it is, chances are it means they want some money from you, okay? So there's another reason I try to keep to a minimum the number of people that I don't know knocking at my door. So, you know, yeah. Look, oh, that's a good knock. That's a good knock. So anyway, as if you watch the short that I did yesterday, late yesterday, and the associated long version video, I'll give a little context to today's video here. There was a lot of people commenting on how could you be so mean to the kid? Well, one, I had no idea whether or not this person really was a fertilizer salesman, and for the most part, when we get fertilizer salesmen, they don't go door to door. If they go door to door, they're just putting in flyers in your door because of all the laws and regulations that some towns have been, adding in the last 10 years. And so I get kind of leery when people start knocking at my door and wanting to talk to me, and especially when they knock on my door. Look at that short and see what I have on my door. I have signs and patches on my door that the normal person may want to think twice, 3 times, 4 times about knocking on my door. Because my door is not a normal door, folks. Let me just say that. It's not a normal door. I've thought this through, and I've tried my best. There you go. Ring the bell. Tried my best to make sure that I'm not a victim, right? If you have anybody in security or the military, they say the best way to not be a victim is to not look like a victim. So I have a tendency to let people know, hey, you may not want to knock on this door. And oh, by the way, solicitors are not invited. So there you go. So when someone knocks on my door, after I've done everything humanly possible, although I just ordered some more signs and stickers for my door after yesterday's escapade, and we'll see how that goes. But I don't know how many signs and stickers you really need on your door to convince someone, hey, if you're not invited here, we don't want you knocking on our door. That's the premise I would like to get across to people. Even the people I do know, some of them I don't want knocking on my door because I know what they usually have in mind. So, but anyway, that's against the point. The point is I don't want people who I don't know, who are unannounced, knocking at my door. That's just the way I am. And as I just explained, with the travelers out in full force this time of year, you may want to reconsider that too. We had another couple groups working in the area that were publicized in the media. One was they were people that would come to your door selling candy, and they would looking for a donation, and the donation that they wanted would only be EBT cards. They didn't want cash, they didn't want checks, they would only, or they didn't take credit cards, all they would take would EBTs. And what was happening is once you gave them your EBT card and they walked away, later on that day they would charge your EBT $1,000 for one candy bar. Yeah, $1,000 for one candy bar. For anyone that was stupid enough to give these people their EBT card that knocked on their door for a person that they didn't know. Okay, so there's one. There's another one. Another reason why you don't want people at your door, right? And you certainly don't want to communicate with them and give them information. There's some people that will come to your door and they want to know information about you, right? They may want to know your Medicaid number or how many people live in this house. That's a dead giveaway that they're trying to run a scam. They're trying to find the people that the elderly people, that there's only one person living in the house or whatever. They're trying to find information about you that they can use against you. We have a 55 and older community not too far from here, and several years ago, for several years, this went on for a couple of years before the police could crack the place. Some of these travelers, again, it was the travelers that were coming into the area, and they had a hard time tracking them down. But what they would do is they would watch a house, and when you went to the grocery store, they would send somebody in a car to follow you. So while you were at the grocery store, someone broke in the back door of your house, pillaged through your rooms, pillaged through your valuables, and took whatever they wanted. And everybody was happy, right? You were doing your groceries. They were making sure you weren't at your house. While you're away from your house, they were taking everything that they wanted. Took 2 years at least. Huntley, Illinois. Del Webb, Sun City. Check it out. They had a hell of a problem there. And part of the problem was these travelers, they use cars that they've rented with fictitious names and potentially stolen credit cards or credit cards that no one can trace back to whoever it is that's actually doing this stuff. Probably more than just a month ago, not too far from here, there was a Chilean group that was breaking into homes. And what they were doing is they somehow had gotten a list of business owners and their addresses, and they were focusing on business owners who were probably at their business during the day, and they would go into their homes and steal all the stuff that they wanted. There you go. So, Now you see why I don't like people knocking on my door, especially when I don't know who they are. And when it happens, I'm usually not very hospitable. Okay? Just a word to the wise. So now you see why I don't like people knocking at my door. And I guess the message today is if you're smart, you may not want people knocking at your door either. Okay? For your safety, for your protection. And we go to great lengths to make sure that our property is secure. One of the things that we do to make sure we're not a victim is we have cameras and security through the house. We also have cameras outside that are highly visible. So anyone driving by thinking about, hey, this house looks nice, I think I want to rob it, would think at least once or twice, right? If you see a couple of cameras outside, you're probably going to think, well, that's probably not the house that I want to knock off. Maybe the one next to him with no cameras and no security system might be an easier house to hit. So there's some more reasons on why I put things on my door, to let people know, hey, this is probably not the easiest target that you're going to find today, and you might want to think once, twice, 3 times a robber, right? So there you go. Sorry for the rant this morning, but I just had to give you guys an update on why I don't like door-to-door salesmen, if that's really what they are. And sometimes they're not, right? We just talked about several scenarios this morning where the door-to-door salesman is really not your friend, and he's really not a salesman. So there you go. Buyer beware. Homeowner, protect your property, and know your laws and ordinances of your local municipality, folks. That's the other thing that I highly recommend that you do. Okay, because in our municipality, even if someone has a permit to solicit, if they come to a house that has no solicitors invited, they're not allowed to knock on your door. And if they do, they're breaking their permit. So there you go. And that's the reason why yesterday I decided to give our boys in blue a call and make sure that whoever was trying to sell me something was on the up and up. And I hope he was on the up and up. But anyway, the message is clear. Don't come knocking at my door. There's got to be a song there somewhere. Is there some old country song about that? I hope so. But anyway, all right, so I'm done ranting for today. It's Friday, and weekend is when they come out. Weekends is when the solicitors like to come out and knock on your door. And I hope you think twice about answering your door and give them a good message like I did, where you may want to go on upon your way and don't come back here again. Otherwise, we're going to get somebody involved to help you.